20 minutes of business
Scott?
time. Yeah.
Well, I'll bring him over to your house. You get to sit on your couch.
It's just perfect.
I years
I don't know if
ago.
he wants to come over to my house, got cats.
Well, he did mention the cats.
Yeah.
I don't have any cats. You guys can come sit at my house. He's right though. Like I've stayed at so many people's homes over the years. There's usually a cat. And I'm good with cats, except really long-haired cats, because I will start sneezing up the storm.
You never knew I had cats. They were just hide and disappear, you know.
When Ken and I were in Denver, which I'll admit was a disaster, and if Ken is being honest, he'll admit that too. It's my fault, because I worked it, but where we stayed, they had long-haired cats. And by the end, I could hardly breathe.
Yeah.
I used to
Too
have,
good at my house.
see, I used to have a short-haired cat.
So that's why
It was my cat, and like, as long as it's short hair, I'm good.
You were just, it was weird when I went to college.
Let me see what they're doing here.
He's so many things, I think.
Well, if he still started stuff, that's fine. It was my fault I had to keep.
I mean, every single town you mentioned, I've been there.
That's why.
My dad was in that.
She gets on the road too.
Oh,
Lots of it.
Who's Bone Machine, John?
What's that?
Who is who is Bone
Scott actually runs that.
Machine? Oh, okay.
He did a small one for me about 2 years
when I
ago.
was the Red Cross volunteer.
What year? Years.
Well, 2000.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, gotta bring everyone back now that the signing is complete. All right, as everyone knows about me, I don't do this open mic in order, so if you thought you decided first, so you're gonna read first, I'll probably not have you go first and just to spite you, because that's my personality. All right. So, I'm just going to run through the open mic, but before I do, I want to thank Tony, who was the one person that Scott didn't thank.
Oh,
And I always make sure...
sorry, Tony. You my favorite one too. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. No, but I want to thank Tony, and I told you guys some of what's going on. Mark wasn't here yet when I mentioned it. I booked October. We're going to have a gentleman named S.E. Brusson who's coming for Terre Haute. And he's going to bring some people and fill up his car for me with a bunch of people. And so he already started talking to me about doing an exchange of artists between Terre Haute and Bell. So we're going to work on that. So that's what's going on. So I'm just going to get into this list. And the first person I will bring up is likely going to be the most reluctant. And his name is Jason Riedberg. Throw bananas at him, he likes it.
Get off my stage.
Look, there's my phone.
Yeah, hey. I did not call Portsmouth the Paris of the Midwest. I called it a great town for serial killers.
You said it was the Palestine of the Midwest.
Oh, that's it. The Palisades of the Midwest. It's called Gas Station Famous. It was a neo-Western movie of a hot and windy Saturday morning in mid-September, and summer was clearly letting us know that it wasn't quite done with us yet. We were buying coffee and donuts and Dayquil at the gas station just outside of St. John, Kansas, in a desperate, preemptive effort to circumnavigate our looming collective hangovers before they really kicked in. I was wearing all black, doing my best working man chic, third-rate Tom Waits, Mike Ness shtick, big boots, big belt buckle, and paperboy hat, rakishly angled. Victor had more of a coiffed and groomed punk rock hip-hop thing going, red Chuck Taylors, baggy jeans, a black stingy brim, and silk bowling style showing his sleeves of tattoos, plus just the faintest hint of cologne. And John was doing John as only John can do. Golden ringlets and big, bushy Walt Whitman Taliban beard, A few grains of powdered sugar here and there. Classic black-rimmed Buddy Holly nerd glasses with the obligatory bit of duct tape to hold the whole shaky framework together. And Doc Martens with Virgin Marys painted on them. It's possible we may have appeared a bit exotic and outlandish to some of the locals who came and went with their purchases that morning. Not from around here, written all over us. And the three of us just sitting there on the bench outside, sipping our coffee, scratching away at lottery tickets, trying to figure out our next move while watching a lone tumbleweed drunkenly meander its way north on US 281. Every now and then a car or truck would slow way down to check us out, making a U-turn in the parking lot, then drive by again. Hell, maybe they wanted to kick our weirdo beatnik asses. Maybe they didn't want our type in their town. Or maybe we just had the up all night, hangover, caffeine, paranoia blues. You never know. But we had no time for that foolishness anyhow. We needed pancakes and bacon, greasy, runny eggs and coffee, always more coffee. We were on tour. That meant a solid week on the road and off the grid. 3 vagabond, low-brow, bon vivant Quixotes of Posey, AWOL, MIA, and current whereabouts unknown, spreading the seed of the word wherever the wind took us. Eventually, the girl working there came outside, fired up a Pall Mall, and asked us, "Y'all famous?"
Hey, poet, what book is that from?
Something I found in the library.
But you need to take that back. You yell at those librarians and be like, garbage. But, yeah, no, thank you, Jason. I'm sad that we're going to be losing David. As much as he probably doesn't think I am. I am.
I miss you.
Well, that's okay. I'll be calling you to see about that third fiance.
Deal.
So, all right. So now that we brought Jason up here, he destroyed everything. But all right. So I am going to bring up Scott's #1 fan in the universe, Robin.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I believe in promoting goodness for everyone, and if I can be any part of that, I love to do it. And no, I didn't cheerlead when I was in high school. But anyway, I've got a couple here, and I don't know which one really to tackle. And I haven't rehearsed because since 9 o'clock yesterday morning, I put almost as many miles on the road as you all did, 9.5 hours, to take my granddaughter to see her dad and my son. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go with the first one that's up here. What's that game show that they got the bot? No Deal with,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this one is called Saga's Stray. Different as a controlled bloodline, group of choking bloodhounds. A stray joining with the bloodhound trail of the darkest dark, cold black blood. Wolves drooling, staring glare, stepping into the bloodhound pack, immediately stands silent. Caution awaits their stance. Piercing eyes, even the clearest of clear liquid. Saga, the seeing one, watches the stray paralyzed in the clearest of the clear liquid as choking bloodhounds spin furiously around and around. Air gushes a whirling dust bowl of autumn's haunting hollers. Owls, screeching faces, none Bloodhound stumbling prances around hell's ring of fire, like a ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, blood screeching horror silently. Whippoorwills melody sings, as Annie with an E, motherly years begin shining as halos from hell, bringing the stray alive through Saga's eyes. My stuff is really kind of dark, deep, and then there's some really, maybe you guys can help me by labeling what style I have, or if there's a style or anything like that. Does that sound?
I just write the poems. You know?
You just write them.
Yeah, everything else kind of gets in the way. Like,
If you try to, dot the i's and cross all the t's.
I was telling a girl who was really worried about what other people would think.
Mhm.
I told her just write the poems, and then if you feel uncomfortable sharing them with others, you put them in a desk drawer, but you have to write.
True.
Like, otherwise, like, I have no respect for a person who lets what other people think dictate what they're gonna do. Now, if you don't wanna share them, I'm great with that. It's
Yes.
fine, but you need to do it for yourself as a writer.
Right. I appreciate that very, very much. I do. Thank you,
Yeah.
John.
Jason Reberg will tell you at the end of the day, who cares what I think, but. All right, so, thank you, Robert. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you keep reading those poems, and, you know, I know you were just trying to pick the right one that would lure Scott to your house, and I'm not sure which one that
I've already got that figured out.
is. There you go,
That's
there
right.
it is. There it is. Let's see here. I'm going to bring up Brenda.
These might be a little different. I'm calling them biographical prose. And it's about 3 writers who grew up in St. Louis. And when I looked at these 3 writers, they had 3 things in common. They all sensed alienation, they all had some type of trauma in their life, and they were all dissatisfied with society. So the first one is T.S. Eliot, poet, essayist, and playwright. His great-grandfather established the St. Louis Unitarian Church. His mother was a poet and a social worker. I'm a social worker. Born in 1888, the family lived on Locust Street until he was 16. It's now a parking lot. He often felt isolated due to physical disabilities, was obsessed with books. St. Louis affected him deeply. He met Ezra Pound in London and renounced his U.S. citizenship. Used free verse and strong imagery, ignored rhyme and strict meter, wrote with raw emotion about the individual experience, explored alienation and social issues. I think everybody probably identifies with William Burroughs here. A Beat Generation primary figure of the 1960s counterculture. He was popular with the underground and was friends with Ginsberg and Kerouac. A postmodern author, wrote 18 novels, 6 short stories, 4 essay collections, and 9 cut-up poems. His pen name was William Lee. A groundbreaking writer, ignored rhyme and strict meter, born in 1914 to a wealthy St. Louis family. Lived on Pershing Avenue, attended Harvard, rebelled against his safe and prosperous family. After he accidentally shot and killed his son's mother, his parents adopted the boy. He moved to Lawrence, Kansas. Burroughs sought out mystical visions, was involved in the darker aspects of the human experience, was involved in the occult and magical themes, was addicted to heroin, and alienated. Burroughs was added to the St. Louis Walk of Fame and is buried in Bellefontaine. And then finally, Maya Angelou. Born in 1928 in the heart of the city, the year Fox Theater opened, in the Gate District of St. Louis, a neighborhood with ornate ironclad gates, the year the Civil Rights Act was passed. 3130 Hickory Street, declared to be a St. Louis city landmark. At age 3, she was put on a train alone with her brother to the south. Returning to St. Louis at age 7, she attended colored school number 4. When molested at age 8, she testified against him. He was released after the trial and murdered the next day. Believing her words had killed him, Maya didn't speak for 5 years. Her words would have power, though. It was a bewildering world for Maya. She grew to be a dignified woman, and when she heard Martin Luther King speak, who was assassinated on her birthday, Maya was inspired to tell the human truth, to understand that singing connotes survival. I would just like to read 2 from my most recent book. It's called Walking into Water. Cornflowers shimmer and come together in a cool stream. Torn pieces of water-soaked oak and redbud, golden burnished leaves float and converge, because the time will come when walking into water will not be absurd. And then, one more, called Unspoken. We don't know each other in the city, only what we observe and draw from one another. Our life experience, I don't know yours, and you don't know mine. So we search for clues, expressions, our shoes, our pockets. Is there a phone, a wallet, maybe a gun? How we walk, there is something unspoken.
Have you ever visited Burroughs' grave at Bellefontaine Cemetery in St. Louis?
Not yet, no. There are a lot of important people
Yeah.
buried in Bellefontaine.
Yeah, I read there at Burroughs' tombstone. It was officially sanctioned by the estate.
That sounds really cool.
I stole a pair of sunglasses from there that were really awesome. I have a tendency to take souvenirs from like stuff like that. I have an orange cone, like one of those construction cones from Bukowski's grave, because at that cemetery, what they do to like mark the celebrity graves is they just put orange cones on. I had no pockets, no nothing, so I stuck this construction cone down my shirt. And I said to Victor, I'm like, do you think they can notice that? And he was like, just get in.
So it's good to know there's cones at the, like all the important graves. Or
Sure. So
famous people.
when people stay with me sometimes, a lot of times I'll have them sign the cone. So I still have it. I also once stole a paper chicken from a gas station that is also in my house. But
You have a little museum going.
before we go further, Phil, did you want to do anything today? No? You look tired.
No comment.
All right, so we are, given that, we are just going to close this thing out with Andrew, who I don't remember hearing read before, so, and my memory's been clouded the last few years, ever since my surgery, but, so I'm looking forward to it, and let's have Andrew up here. It's good to have you.
Yes. Thanks. Now, where's Bukowski? He's not at Bellefontaine, right?
No, the cemetery he's in is around San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
Yeah.
I assume he was in Southern California somewhere.
Well, he lived in San Pedro, which would be probably the most likely thing to think, but he's in San Diego.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to meet Scott, who's been a Twitter buddy for a while here. So it's great to connect with him and with all of you. And I have read at the Rollo Poetry at the Pub once before. So most of what I write is fiction, creative nonfiction, but I do dabble in poetry a little bit. And I have one brief poem that I've been writing that's timely, I believe. And with apologies to Gabriel Garcia Marquez, whose one of his famous novels is titled Love in the Time of Cholera. This one is called Grace in the Time of Cyclospora. Let us pray. We do not become, let us pray. That's it. Anyway, short and sweet.
Yeah.
This one is called A Cure for Doom Scrolling. Sit quietly. Shut off your phone, but keep it cradled in your hand like a baby bird. Feel the weight, the gravity of it, of the world. Now close your eyes and breathe. Swipe up on the darkened screen. Feel your thumb against the surface. Breathe in. Say Om. Breathe out. Say Om. Keep swiping, eyes closed. Say Om. Keep thumbing that familiar place, that interface, until it turns into something strange. Say Om. This is how you do Om scrolling. Yeah. Finally, because of the weather, I mean, it's such a weird day today. I thought I'd read one that I wrote, was inspired last fall during the solstice, or the equinox, I'm sorry, autumnal equinox. And so this one is called Eden in the Ozarks. What if God had chosen to put the Garden of Eden in these Missouri Ozarks? Would Adam and Eve use sycamore leaves to cover themselves? Or catalpa leaves, big as catcher's mitts? Or maybe those heart-shaped redbud leaves? These all thrive along the banks of these meandering, spring-fed creeks. If God had put the Garden of Eden in the Missouri Ozarks, would the serpent have been a copperhead, a water moccasin? Would a pawpaw have been the forbidden fruit? These are my thoughts today, the first day of autumn. On the autumnal equinox, everything hangs in the balance, as it did in Eden of old. The seasonal seesaw teeters from warmth toward coolness as I walk beneath a gray-streaked dome of sky, the sidewalk damp from overnight rain. Splattered with the fallen leaves of sycamores, catalpas, redbuds, and the others. Maples, hickories, black oak, white oak, pin oak, dogwoods, mulberries. Yes, my feet tread on the colors of fallen creation, vibrant yet muted by the wet. Orange leaves tinged with scarlet or yellow-green. Brown leaves dark as chocolate. The glories of a passing life. I also walk along life to come, life contained within the dying. Flat, twisted catalpa pods, the golf ball-sized hickory nuts, their green shells turning to shoe-polished black. These vessels hold seeds awaiting resurrection. But God did not choose to put Eden in the Ozarks. God chose another place, on the other side of the world, where humans walked long before any saw these ancient time-worn hills and spider-veined rivulets. And when humans finally arrived here, those early sojourners, those vanished ones, did they marvel at the sight of it? Did they wonder how they traveled so far for so long to arrive at a place so distant from paradise?
Whenever you say they were in Detroit. So distant from paradise, they were in Detroit.
There you go.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. That takes me to the end of my list. Like I was saying earlier, the next time we will be in here is Saturday, September 12th at 6 p.m. If you're friends with me on Facebook and you can't remember what I just said, because sometimes I can't either, just shoot me a message and I'll remind you of the day. I'm always happy to hear from all of you guys, so just go ahead and do that. And Andrew, please come back and read again. It'd be great to have you. I'm actually looking for a second person for my reading at the beginning of November that we're hosting here, if you have any interest in that. And I can talk to you about that online.
Sure.
So, yeah, we always welcome new people. You know, if you invite 4 friends and they invite 4 friends, it'll be more friends than I have. So, be good. Be good to have more people. Thank you guys for being here. Again, thank you to Scott for being here. Thank you to Scott for trudging through part of America with me. Robin, when you talked about the 9.5 hours, I was thinking about my trip total was probably more like 26 hours. Because I had to do 13 to get to Pittsburgh before I ever saw you, and then we had to do 4 before we got to Ohio.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was more like 26 straight hours in the car, and you didn't kill me. So, you know,
I
there's.
actually like you more now.
You can deflect your anger towards Jason Reber. He's used to it.
I like him less.
That's true. That's true. That stingy brim he wears. All right. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to get out of here. If anyone wants to join us in the Mexican restaurant, I think that's where Scott and I will be. So come over there. The food is delicious and they're wonderful people. And I think that they're expecting another baby really soon. So that's pretty awesome. And you can support young people that are like trying to do better things with this world, which we need more of. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Wait, before everybody leaves, can we get like a group picture or something?
Yes.
Whatever you
I like that
see
idea.
how Robin was the first one jumping in there.
Somebody's gotta be
Don't
first.
get up here, Robin.
Do you want me to take a picture?
Why want you in the